What's up guys, Luke here with a review of the M-AUDIO Keystation Mini 32. This is a USB bus-powered MIDI controller that's really ideal for people who need to play on the go. The first thing you'll notice when you pick up the M-AUDIO Keystation Mini 32 is how sleek and thin it is. It's not that much thicker than an iPhone, and it's only about 1.5 feet in length. It also weighs less than a pound, so you won't have any trouble tossing this thing in your backpack. The keyboard itself is made out of a soft plastic, and the overall build quality feels very good. Now if you do use some pressure, you can get it to flex just a little bit, but it still feels very sturdy. On the bottom you'll find 6 rubber feet which help keep it in place while you're playing. On the left you'll find a mini USB port, and on the right you'll find a place for a Kensington lock. On the top of the keyboard is where we find the business side of things. We've got 32 low-profile, velocity-sensitive keys. Most portable keyboards nowadays have around 25 keys, so this gives us a little bit more to play with, which I think makes all the difference. On the left side is where you're going to find all the controls. You've got a sustain button, an edit button, 2 octave buttons, 2 pitch bend buttons, a mod button, and a volume knob. The pitch bend buttons, the mod button, and the volume knob are all reassignable, giving you real-time control over your virtual instruments. Here I've got the MIDI keyboard hooked up to an iPad via the camera connection kit. We'll be running our test through GarageBand. Let's give it a try. So the first thing I notice when playing this keyboard is how good the keys feel. They're soft to the touch and they don't make a lot of noise. Now the keys do look small, but I haven't had any trouble playing two-handed parts. Alright, let's go ahead and test out the velocity sensors. Everything seems to be working fine. The volume knob is pre-mapped, so it works just how you would expect it to. Let's try out the sustain button. And I really like how it lights up when you have it selected. That's a cool feature. Everything sounds good there. Alright, let's test out the octave key. And a cool feature here is if you press the plus and the minus at the same time, it takes us back to our middle C. Moving down to the pitch bend buttons. And if we push the mod button down, we get a muted sound on the guitar. If you want to, you can change the responsibilities of most of these buttons. For example, if I hit Edit and the D sharp key, my octave buttons are now reassigned. So instead of moving us up by an octave, it'll move the entire keyboard up by half steps. And if I want to go back, all I have to do is press Edit and C sharp key. The Keystation Mini 32 also has selectable velocity curves. This lets you customize the sensitivity of the keyboard to your playing style. Now the default mode is great for piano or guitar, but for something like drums, we want full velocity and less dynamic range. So let's move over here to our drums, and we're going to press Edit, Velocity, Velocity Curve 2, and Enter. Now we've got a completely different velocity curve that we can use with our drum set. Now I want to talk about my overall thoughts and impressions regarding this keyboard. I think as far as portable MIDI controllers go, this sits right at the top. The build quality is very good, and the keys feel great to play on. Another big plus for me is the fact that this comes with 32 keys instead of the normal 25 that we see on a lot of portable keyboards nowadays. It's much easier to play with 2 hands, and you'll find yourself clicking the octave keys a lot less. I also really like the amount of customization that this keyboard offers. You can do a lot of reassigning of the keys and do some very cool and functional things. Especially for a portable keyboard of this size, it's a big deal to have features like this. The only thing I'd like to see M-AUDIO improve upon in the next version is including a case with the keyboard. This may not seem like a big deal, but most people who have this keyboard will be traveling with it. So it'd be nice to have like a slip case or something like that that you could slip it in and toss it in your backpack so your keys are protected. So who's this keyboard really for? Well, I think it could be for anyone. It's sleek, it's thin, it's packed full of features, and it even connects to your iPad. Now if you're going to be playing a lot daily, you're going to probably want something a little bit bigger, but this definitely holds its own. The Keystation Mini 32 comes in at $99, which I think is a fair price point for something like this. Now, I did find mine on Amazon for around 70 bucks, so if you do shop around, you shouldn't have any problem saving some cash. Alright guys, that does it for my review today. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.